Hey free spirits. So today's workout is going to be for those who may be having an off day or it's kind of hard for you to just get up and get going. And with this workout it's going to help just get you moving and get some blood flow to the brain. So we'll go ahead and get started with our 3 breaths. So feet will be hips distance apart. You can close your eyes and drop those hands out to the side and then just raise the arms up as you take a nice deep inhale through the nose and then exhale through the mouth as the hands lower down. And I want you to repeat to yourself that I am open and receptive to the benefits of movement. One more. I am open and receptive to the benefits of movement. And drop those hands down. All right, let's come to the back of our mats. Again, our feet are going to be hips distance apart, standing up nice and tall. We're going to take a nice deep inhale, bring the arms up over the head, and we're actually going to dive down forward, arms coming out in front of us. Nice and slow. Now, if your hands aren't anywhere near to the ground or your hamstrings are feeling a little tight, you can always start with a little bend in the knees if this is your first forward fold for today. And then very slowly, I want you to come back up, stacking the vertebrae one at a time. Head the last thing to come up, and the arms will follow. And then we're going to exhale as we dive back down nice and slow, maybe moving about 1 millimeter closer to the mat. And then inhale, rise on up. And exhale, diving back down. Nice, easy roll down. Letting the head hang a little bit more. And then inhale, rise on up. Just enjoying these movements. And again, back down. And inhale, rise up. And let's go one more. Back down. And just let the head hang heavy. And if you find your bottom rocking back, bring it forward so those hips are in line with the ankles. And then we're going to place our hands onto the mat. If your legs aren't straight and they're bent, you can always keep those knees bent and place the hands on the mat to what feels comfortable to you. And then we're going to walk our hands out slowly into our first downward dog. Feet will still remain hips distance apart. We're going to work on driving those heels down towards the mat. And then let's go ahead and just paddle those feet out. This may be your first downward dog for the day, so everything may be feeling a little bit tight. And just take some breaths here. Let the head hang. Keep that back nice and flat. And let's do one more paddle on each foot. And then lower both those heels down. Let's come up onto the toes and we're going to shift forward into our first plank. So we're in a high plank here. If this is too much for you, remember you may always drop down to the knees. You can always modify. And let's start to fire up that core a little bit. Maybe create some heat in the body. Heart rate starts to increase just a little bit. And then let's push ourselves back into another downward dog. Knees can be bent. And then we're going to take our feet and step out the edge of the feet to the edge of the mat. Flatten the back and raise your hips up towards the sky. So if you're really tight in the hamstrings, this will actually feel really good and make it a little bit easier for you. So if you find this one's easier for you, just go ahead and stay in your downward dog the entire time. And then we can kind of rock it from side to side to get deeper into those hips, a little bit of a juicier stretch. One more shift. Bring it back to center. Step the feet hips distance apart if you're coming back. And then let's shift forward into a plank. Take a breath here. Just find your focus. You want to stay in a straight line. So imagine if somebody were to stick a rod in the top of your head. It would go straight through your head to your bottom, all the way to the feet. So the hips don't want to be up too high, and they definitely don't want to be dropping too low to where we're arching that back. And let's go ahead and shift back into a downward dog. Inhale, and then exhale, shift back into a plank. Inhale back, exhale to a plank. Inhale and exhale. Now if this is too much, just go ahead and drop either into a plank or drop back into a downward dog. Press those heels back when you send those hips up and back. Get a little bit deeper into those hammies. Let's go for 3 more. Inhale back, exhale forward. Hold it here for about 5 seconds, just for good measure. And then drop down to the knees, untuck the toes. Bring your big toes together, knees will go out wide, and set your bottom back on your heels, extending those arms out. Now, if this is uncomfortable for you, you can grab like a pillow or a blanket or something, placing it underneath between your thigh and your calf to give yourself a little bit of assistance here. If your head isn't quite reaching the mat, take a block and place your head on the block. Take a nice deep inhale and then exhale, slowly come on up, and then we're going to flip to our back side for some glute bridges. So lowering down nice and controlled, bring your feet hips distance apart. The closer your heels are into your bottom, the more challenging it's going to be, so adjust accordingly. Keep the knees in line with the toes, palms out to the side. Take a nice deep inhale, and then as you exhale, flatten the spine towards the mat, lift your bottom up, peel that vertebrae off of the mat one at a time. And you want to come to a straight line from your knee to your hip to your shoulder. Hold for an in-breath, and then exhale, lower back down. Inhale, flatten and lift. Hold for a breath, and then bring it back down. And nice and slow, bring it back up. So I have a really good tutorial on my page about how to do a proper glute bridge. So if for some reason you're struggling with this or anything, feel free to watch that tutorial. This really is a wonderful exercise. Let's open up those hips. Let's focus on our breath here for these last few so you can really connect and get that energy and blood circulation flowing. When you inhale, think of bringing that nourishing breath in, and when you exhale, pushing out any stale energy that you may be holding on to in your body. I am open and receptive to all benefits of movement. And hold it up here for just a few more breaths. Try to lift those hips a little bit higher, and then very slowly roll back down. Bring your right knee into your chest, and then bring your left leg. If that's too uncomfortable, you can drop your feet out to the sides of the mat and just kind of windshield wiper the knees from side to side just to relieve some of the tension you've created in the low back. And bring it stationary, and let's roll to our side. We're going to push ourselves up, and we're going to come into our plank yet again. And we're going to do some slow mountain climbers. So you can step back with your left foot and then your right. Line up shoulder to wrist. Keep that core engaged. Again, you can always drop down to the knees if you need to. And we're going to take our right knee up and then push it back. Left knee comes up and push it back. Right and left. So these are a little bit harder than mountain climbers, the regular ones, because you're just really busting them out. Whereas these are slow, controlled, precise movements here. And I will show you a few of the modified version. Bring it up and push it back. Your knee may skim a little bit, that's okay. Or you can come all the way into a tabletop position and do it that way. And I'm going to go back here and we're going to go for 4 more. Inhale in, exhale, push away. 1 more. And back. Drop to the knees, untuck the toes, and I want you to lower down to the mat as gracefully as you possibly can. So our feet are going to be hips distance apart. We're going to take the hands and move them directly under our shoulders. We're going to place the forehead directly on the mat. Take a nice deep inhale, and when you exhale, roll the shoulders back, tuck your tailbone, press into the hands as you lift up. Elbows will be pointing back. Now notice when you come up, that back wants to arch again. Let's go ahead and protect the back, so we scoop the tailbone under just a little bit to bring your pelvis back into that neutral alignment. And then lower back down. Inhale, and then exhale, roll the shoulders back, push into the hands, lift up. Each time maybe trying to lift about 1 millimeter higher than the last. And then lower down. If you can, inhale, exhale, roll, push up and back. And back down. Inhale, exhale, push and come up. Looking down the bridge of the nose. Inhale, back down. Exhale, roll and back up. And back down. Inhale. Let's go for 3 more. Exhale. Inhale. Let's go last one. And this time, push yourself just a little bit to see if you can go up any higher. And then lower back down, nice and controlled. Relax your hands, bend your knees, and just windshield wiper those legs from side to side. Taking a nice recentering breath before we go into our last exercise, and probably the most challenging one. And let's go ahead, take your hands underneath the shoulders and push yourself up. So we're going to get back into that lovely plank position, and we're going to lift up into it. We're going to take our right foot out and step to the side. Bring it back in. Left foot steps out to the side and back in. Right out and left out. Now you can stay here like this, or you can add a little hop to it to really get that heart rate up on this last one. Out and in. So you have the option, the step, the jump. If these are too challenging, take it back to that knee plank, drop the knee out to the side. We have exercises for everybody. Let's go for 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop down to the knees, untuck the toes, bring the big toes together, knees go out wide, and step back in your rest pose. And just relax here. Again, recentering yourself. We are right at the end here. And very slowly coming on up. So we're going to do one last thing. So you can do 2 things. Legs up on the wall. You want to scoot your bottom as close to the wall as you can, if this is comfortable for you. Bring your legs straight up. Drop your arms out to the side. And you want to make sure that you're keeping the natural curve of your spine. So if you feel it flattening, just move your bottom away a little bit. And you can just hang out here. If that is not doable for you, I want you to simply just lay on the back of the mat. Let the feet drop out to the sides. Arms come out. And just relax here. So staying in one of those 2 positions, I want you to just kind of spend some time here, taking some deep breaths in and out, Switching that breath over from inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose. And repeat to yourself, I am open and receptive to the benefits of movement. I am open and receptive to the benefits of movement. And just give yourself a nice little pat on the back for getting up, even though as much as you may not have wanted to, you got up and you did this. So I think that's wonderful. So let me know how you like this workout, and just let me know in the comment section or shoot me an email. Peace out, and I hope you free spirits have an amazing day.